Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda here of Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to a 1v1 on Mill Road. North it is Stormtaker Giap himself. Fighting for the Red Army in the Soviet Union. Comrade Stalin here with Armoured Assault. Another Armoured Assault match with T-35s, Radio Intercept, vehicle repair training, IS-2s, and the Sturmwix. In the south it is Umirinbrah, fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 7th Panzer Division with Jaeger Infantry, Spearhead, and Mechanized Assault, going to the MD42. And Giap here with a sniper start going here for something definitely a bit rare here. And versus the Wehrmacht definitely means he can risk falling a bit behind if he's not careful with an early sniper, since that does mean less immediate map control here. Umirin here with Spearhead, featuring 250-7 mortar half-tracks, Panther Tactician, Reconnaissance Overflight, Fragment Changing Bombs and Tiger Tanks, and one of the more popular commanders at the moment. So heading straight for the fuel pundy after that. Sniper out there for Giap. Probably going to be looking at some conscripts after that. Though maybe penal troops could be an option here for Giap. But I've seen no conscripts. Points have been grabbed still as well. Then we can see the machine next to Russia straight towards us. And here, Umirin obviously looking to secure terrain here. Probably, though, not aware that his opponent's going for a sniper start. I mean, admittedly, most players don't bother with sniper starts. So, for Umirin to expect that would certainly be, well, rather novel. Sniper sitting out there, conscript squad out here for Giap, but so far just not a lot of terrain being grabbed here for Giap. Very slow match in this regard. Machine just holding out, P just waiting for the search to arrive, but so far and they're not within range. Second Canadian squad there, Umirin on the way, and the German army sniping forwards here. Conscript also on the move here. Second Canadian squad ready, of course. Giap will, thanks to radio intercept, know about it all along. MD4 holding up against advancing conscripts. The second conscript there for Giap, advancing straight to the center, quickly suppressed, he's now moving up, and there we go, quick kill there on the machine gun crew, but not on the gunner. Fairly lucky there for Umirin. Conscript being suppressed now, but there's kind of within range to risking snipers to suppress themselves, but there you go. Scored another kill on the machine gunner. This time actually got the actual gunner. Second conscript, there we go, flanking in here, up behind Giap's front. Here going to try and go for the sniper. Of course, Giap spots this thanks to the engineers acting as a spotter there inside of the building and gives Giap ample time to pull back his sniper. So it does really highlight just the risks involved with these kind of openings. They do mean you're much more open to just getting pushed down by, you know, a more aggressive opponent if you're not careful. Good kill there by the sniper on one of the grenadiers. We got 3 kills from the sniper. Third grenadier squad ready. Giap, I managed to at least have to go for a few more conscript. Engineers still flanking in for 2 or alone health there. Umirin there definitely pushes like a bit fine now. With this, Giap might just be able to turn the tables in. Umirin now collapses here, forced to full retreat. So there we go, nice route. We got more troops being poured in. At this point, we got fast take here. Umirin's option at this point to counter the sniper is basically go for a counter sniper himself or try and rush out some 2-2s. And I think in this regard, Umirin's basically just figuring the 2-2 is going to work better compared to, like, you know, going for a counter sniper here. Constantly out there for Giap, heading northwards with the Pioneers. Standard stuff. Constantly on the car front, machine wing up here. Tech almost done. There you go, pushing ahead against the car front. Machine, there's the Constantly on these leading the way as well here for the glorious German army. Routed, sandbags in the center. Up north is sniping force here. Pretty aggressive play by Giap. Bunker there on the way for Umirinbrah for some medics. 4th conscript there for Giap, so that's a pretty heavy tier 1 in there. Goes sniper scores a kill here for the Red Army. 6 kills here so far, and Giap's sniper, not a shabby start. Not shabby at all. Gunny's moving up the center. Umirin clearly, I think, looking to mess with the Giap's car point, but also I think trying to that way force Giap to, like, you know, be less aggressive because you've got to defend the carve point. There's only one way to approach it. No like to make a nice company yet. Sniper scores another kill here on the Grenadier. 7 kills now for the third sniper under Giap's command. Constantly charging in, the more gunnies around here, really trying to get that sniper here. Pioneers there go setting up the like to make a nice company. Controlling south at sea for Giap, and up north there, Control catching the gunners, pushing them back, sniper back at base here. Medics on the way there for Giap, and far up northwest, Indonesia, but low on health. They could be caught by the gundies, and they got light machines on the way, so there's a theoretical chance here, but very low there, that somebody loses the engineers. But that require the light machine to be upgraded soon, I think. So, down here, like the mechanized company up, and as expected, we do get the 2-2 armored car here to put pressure on Giap's infantry, but also, like, exploit any openings he makes and then try and run down the sniper. Of course, as Giap is extra DBs, you could try to exploit this, try and bait the armored car into, like, making a rush, and then sort of trap it and destroy it. Obviously, setting that up would, I think, involve a lot of risks there, so I don't think he's going to do it, but he could theoretically try and set it up here. Gunny's being super at the conscripts. Light machine gun already, at least here. Fuel being hit there. Giap, despite, again, a slightly sluggish start to going for snipers. Quick turn around here against Umirinbrah. Rifling it there completely with C. Easily dodged by Giap's conscripts. Armored cars out. The gun's going for the car pump, but they almost lose the fuel point here. Giap really hitting here. Umirinbrah hard. Armored car rolling ahead here for the German army. The 222. Leichte Panzerspielwagen. Catching the counter there, sniper, of course, quickly backing off as soon as he realizes within range of the armored car, and also like be very careful in case something else appears, so doesn't get rushed down. Rushing him and then to tank grenade there. Umirinbrah was a bit too slow to react, or maybe there's just a delay, hard to say. Either that the armored car does suffer a damaged engine, which is great for Giap here. Umirinbrah definitely needs to do something to turn this game around. We got a Pack 40 on the way, they're obviously concerned about enemy light vehicles, which could definitely give Umirinbrah here a real headache. But I also think maybe some more infantry or something else for Umirinbrah could go far away here versus Giap. Gonna use the conscript here close to the northern victory point. We got 411 versus 500. Machine gun in the center here. Needs laying down mines. Thumbs up for Giap. Obviously in this case, not just because they're mines, which are good in general to lay down, but in particular with an armored car about there, he obviously wants to make it as difficult as possible for Umirinbrah's armored cars to like rush in to hit the sniper there, for example. Yeah, he knew of the mine there, so saw how the engineers were dispersed. They typically tend to have a particular formation if they just lay down a mine, like they'll just stand around looking at the same spot, so not difficult for there to anyone who is aware of that fact to deduce the opponent lay down a mine. So now they're treated quickly, of course, not taking risks. Remaining southwards, obviously having seen one mine, he's starting to be a lot more cautious because his opponent may lay down more mines, and of course this is one of those secondary benefits of laying down mines. Particularly these types of mines, like once you lay down one mine, unless your opponent's completely daft, they will typically assume, or really confident, and know you really well, they'll typically assume there's more mines, at which point they'll typically get a lot less aggressive. More grenadiers here for Umirinbrah. Would like to see some Panzer grenadier, but oh well. Either way, bring in more infantry. I think it's going to be crucial for Umirinbrah. There we go. Head into another mine. There we go, rushing straight at it. Could take out here Umirinbrah's armored car, but there you go. Hold it by the aiming for too close call here, though. Up north here, point's being grabbed, but the sniper keeps at it. And there you go. Other gun is retreating here as well. Fourth one ready. Pack ready as well. We got the Tanko V tank one up for Giap. Could go for the T-70, could go for the anti-aircraft tower attack. I'd say both are, of course, excellent options because they are. Generally, the question is just more, what does he prioritize more in this case? It would appear to be munitions. Otherwise, typically a lot of players go for the anti-aircraft traffic nowadays because you can go for it, still apply immense amounts of pressure to your opponent, but also have more fuel for your next tier, so. Giap here clearly wants the T-70 as it can. Take a few more hits, obviously. There's also another reason to consider, of course. In the center, we got the info to the conscript. Sandbag shattered. Up north, and geese flanking around. No flamethrowers, though. So not quite as potent as that could be. He's popping into the shed there. There you go. T-70 and light tank out here for Giap. In the south, the conscripts moving up, backed up here by the sniper. Further south, guns moving forward to Umirinbrah. Conscript is in the center. Guns back to protect on the car point. There you go. Snapped as well. Meanwhile, the armored car is still receiving at most important repairs. So can actually get moving again. Guns being Molotov further up north. And Molotov on the car point as well. Definitely top spot behind the sniper is easily running in the pay here. And there you go. The T-70 is also moving to the front line now. We do have, of course, the Pack 40 ready. Can you get it within range of the T-70? And of course get off one shot, because unless Giap is, I don't know, not paying attention, he's probably not going to allow that T7 to take more than one hit. Counter-ground fuel point, again, just constant, consistent harassment from Giap against Umirinbrah, which is definitely making things tough here for the Wehrmacht player for the time being. Armored car striking the constant there, but the fuel point needs to bring up some more firepower, I think, here versus Giap. Mortar could be a consideration here. Could even go for the mortar half deck, but I think with the way that Giap is harassing his fuel income, I don't think that's something Umirinbrah wants here necessarily. When he probably wants to take up, there we go. Taking up right away. Thumbs up as soon as he has the resources. Armored Camion strike up here in the north, going for the Indonesia with its autocannon and coaxial machine gun. So the conscripts find the Samak position ruined by the Pack 40. And back here, troops setting out their fresh fleet, reinforced and healed here for Giap. He's only committed again to the center. Not even repaired though. That's honestly fairly ballsy there by Giap. Fairly ballsy. Grab the center. Pioneers pack going up here. I want to grab that northern victory point. There we go. In the south here we got the Communists with the constant heavy cover. That's going to be a win here, I think, for Giap's conscripts. With the heavy cover, just, you know, over positioning just means Umirinbrah's going to use at a distinct disadvantage to close in. They lose out still. Had this been Panzer Grenadiers or some other assault infantry, he probably could have beaten it. But yeah, Grenadiers with light machine gun are just going to lose in that kind of engagement there. Armored car, they're taking loss, damage, snipers killing pioneers as well. Heap, smoke popped, Grenadiers flanking from the north. Looking to apply some pressure here. But Giap is already ready to resist that with even more infantry. T-70 receiving the most critical repairs there, close to Veterans you want. And Umirinbrah thereby could start building the support core here. Get ready for some Schnellpanzers. We'll of course have to see what he does. There we go, going for that armored car further up north. Elon Grenadier squad moving about there, being equipped with the MG42. Machine gun setting up here. Straight up with double Molotovs, I think, on the MG42. There we go. Umirinbrah is just forced to retreat the machine gun there. Just not a great spot to be in the south here. Conscripts advancing up north. The Grenadiers are ready, but there we go. Giap charges in there for the glory of the Red Army and straight into the Grenadiers with light machine guns. Quickly taking a loss there as Yevgeny gets sawed to bits by the MG42. South here, points being grabbed. Back at Giap's place, but I'm noting a lot of manpower being floated. Like, he would, like, obviously take up soonish, but otherwise fuel caches, support weapons, maybe. I don't know. He doesn't have the support company. It's obviously a bit difficult to go for that without taking for it, which was also slowed down in some regards, but at the same time, I just don't think floating like close to 900 manpower is what you call particularly optimal. Sniper there with 17 kills of 82 they achieved. Armored car being fixed up again. That armored car has suffered some rather extensive damage, and there you go. Giap is building up the mechanized armor company. Thumbs up. Good for him. Less good for Umirinbrah, as obviously it opens up for conscripts to get 7 upgrades, which is a very good upgrade. We're back at base here for Umirinbrah. Nothing further is transpiring. No support core yet. I mean, it's not impossible that Umirinbrah might be just hoping to go straight for tier 4 and the heavy panzer core, though would certainly be awfully ambitious of him to pull that one off under current circumstances, particularly with the Giap having, I think, fairly effective map control versus Umirinbrah. I would definitely not find myself recommending that move. Counter was the armored car. They got Veterans who won 3 kills, close to Veteran 2. Pack landing, great shot, and then T7 light tank almost got. In fact, apparently Giap was not paying attention. In fact, the armored car could, like, yeah, take it out here. That's a great moment here for Umirinbrah. Sniper also retreating. Could get spot here, but the armored car, that'd like to be like, if you can get the sniper as well, that'd be like a big double win here for Umirinbrah. Yeah, sniper's chance of surviving this is very low. That's a pretty big win there, tactically and operationally here for Umirinbrah. Like, he just killed the sniper and the T-72 of the most, you know, impactful units right now in Giap's force in just terms like, you know, scoring kills. We've got the fuel cache on the carve point. Thumbs up. Another sniper on the way here. Still, it's going to be tough to replace the experience, and obviously he's not going to go for another T-72 up. There you go. Sneak up a hit on the car front here. Despite everything, Giap still keeps up pressure. Smart play there. It's going to force Umirinbrah to dispatch force up to deal with that. Still no support core though. And while, of course, he doesn't, like, gain any benefit from building it directly, like, there's no passive bonuses attached, no 5-man Grenadier Squad or Panther Grenadier Squad upgrade from it. Okay, Giap is going double fuel cash. Like, he's really looking to invest into the advantage gained in part due to the sniper. It's like a significant armor lead. That is definitely fairly rare. I'd also bit advise against going for 2 fuel caches that quickly in succession. I mean, that's a lot of manpower being spent on. I think it's roughly like 500 manpower. Definitely, I think, a bit much. Not saying you should never go for 2 fuel caches, just not in rapid succession. That's what I'm trying to say here. Need to get back his carve point. No support cost holder for Umirinbrah. Yeah, you could go for the T-34 from 6, but I think with double fuel caches like this, Giap is probably either planning T-35s, and lots of them, which is a very powerful strategy, or he's planning to go for the IS-2 right away. But there you go, Supplement for Umirinbrah, thumbs up. Need to get this carve point back, but also, of course, in a few moments, we'll need to dispatch forces to defend this field point as well here, as Giap is not slowing down. He's also replacing his lost infantry. 2 fuel caches is 6 extra fuel per minute, which can quickly build up towards some armor. There goes Pomacop, the fuel point there being hit, and certainly could quickly also spiral things like control against Umirinbrah if he's not careful. Grabbing the eastern victory point, we got 266 versus 457. And he's pushing forwards here for Deutschland, backed up the Info 2, comes there really quickly suppressed here, and there you go. Giap is forced to fall back from the western fuel point. Panther 4 there for Umirinbrah. Excellent choice there. Well, no, there's a lot of choices to make there. Oh, it's a good choice. Needs to grab that fuel point as well. I'm guessing he's intending other units to do it, but he really should get that fuel point back. Going for the eastern fuel as well, though, but they got the sniper there. We got Conquest here as well. And Umirinbrah there, of course, quickly reads the lay of the land and just gets out there before he gets his men murdered, but needs to grab that fuel point. Panther 4 2/3 of the way done here for Umirinbrah and the 7th Panzer Division. He's also bringing a second machine gun here. I actually think Armour would be a nicer choice here, but I mean, certainly machine gun is not bad either, but I definitely recommend a mortar first, though. In particular for Mill Road, you really benefit a lot from mortars. There you go. Panther 4 ready here for Umirinbrah and the 7th Panzer Division, adding the pin-mounted MG42. T-35, 2/3 of the way done here, so not a direct move for the IS-2, which is definitely not something I'd recommend anyways, but when you got like 2 fuel caches, I could also like see him actually trying doing that. Oh wait, T-35 on the way there is still going to be challenged here for the Panther 4. Plus again, with 2 fuel caches, he can rapidly bring him on, but there you go, fuel cache spotted, it's going to lose one of them. Unless he can somehow save it, but saving that one at this point seems very unrealistic. Up north here, contracting the Grenadiers, going for the fuel point again. There you go, cash down. Of course, Giap still has another one. He's still getting a lot more fuel than his opponent, so not a huge loss, though. I don't think he quite managed to get full value out of it before it got destroyed either. Armored car hitting the countries there. Northern fuel point almost seized here by Giap's forces. T-35 there, pulled a bit back, probably awaiting repairs before moving ahead. North, the armored car pushing back the conscripts, continues dug in as well. Chinese round engineers. Now, this T-35 model is the 1944 model. There was also a model in 1943 with a slightly smaller turret, slightly less powerful gun as well, and less armored overall. But would by 1944 be replaced with a overall more solid model. So, little fun fact there. Pack 40 on the way there for Umirinbrah. Second pack 40 here. Could also indicate he might not be thinking about stalling for some big armor himself. But at the same time, it might just also be a response to the T-35 and the potential for even more T-34s being just rushed out, at which point, you know, having a bunch of anti-tank guns can be a good way to, shall we say, deal with those kind of armoured rush strategies. We'll have to see. MD-42, there we go. T-35 lands a great shot on the Panther 4, easily piercing it with its 85mm gun. Bit of back and forth there. Northern Ponces for the Grenadier. Back at base for Umirinbrah, not much else transpiring as of yet. Katyusha online for Giap, very much standard serve meta game. You go for the tank, you go for the Katyusha, then you maybe go for more tanks. So, nothing out of the ordinary here. Counter-fire the cover there being ripped apart and forced retreat. Snubber's also a bit exposed ahead to potential Panther 4 rushing him down. T-35 infantry support being moved up here, I think, to block such a potential maneuver. Also, I think, to defend the car point against a German push there. Though we do have conscripts being dispatched to also make that difficult. Snubber gaining veterans here 1. Panther moving forwards and going to be moving straight into the T-35, but not before it gets the first shot off. And the T-35 misses. Close call there. Very fortunate there for Umirinbrah. South, we got the packs moving up here. Bit risky, like mines and some infantry around here could give the packs a bit of a hard time, but at the same time, there's nothing around. This could work out quite well. There you go, packs moving in. Armored coming, take this as a spotters one. This should actually cost Giap his T-45. But no. No, he actually makes it. He actually makes it. Really close call here, though, for Giap. Armored cars being to try and finish off. Here we got the Katyusha in the pack 40s here. Armored car, like theoretical take. You can also take out the Katyusha, I guess. I mean, if you get something, that's better than nothing. No, the armored car does get knocked out without taking out the Katyusha or the T-45 Panther wing force, but hitting a mine here. Talk about really lucky there for Giap. And at the same time, it's got troops running around in the rear, but they are quickly sent packing as well. Pack 40 is just staying there. Not entirely sure what to do now with the situation going slightly pear-shaped. What will Giap do next is the big question, and what will Umirinbrah try and follow up with here? Another Panzer 4, or will he be planning to go for Tier 4 and something a bit bigger than the Panzer 4? T-35, they've seen at least some repairs there from the crew. They, of course, should dispatch engineers to assist with that. Pack around the southern victory point here for Deutschland, and there you go. Umirinbrah with a second Panzerkampfwagen 4 on the way. Workhorse of the German Panzerwaffe and the most produced German Panzer overall. Of course, not most produced armored fighting vehicle, that was a Stug. Grabbing the eastern field point here, Panther 4 being fixed up. Then use the conscripts, pushing them back. There was some well-placed machine gun fire. Sniper there with 9 kills, about to get up to 10. Second field cache spotted here. Go getting out with the double packs. Sniper's going another kill there for the Red Army. Katyusha's almost ready to fire again. Almost. And there you go, second Panther ready here for Umirinbrah. Umirinbrah's definitely managed to turn things around nicely here versus Giap. Counter then pushed back by the Panther 4. North East points being seized as well. How will Giap look to extricate himself from this situation? Katyusha fire off here. So yeah, he's trying to take out the packs here. And suddenly if we can get rid of them, that would be pretty big here for Giap. But nope. The rockets don't quite hit the mark. Except for like one that kills Otto. But beyond that, ultimately doesn't get a lot of damage or killing done overall. So for Katyusha, that has been a pretty, shall we say, not impressive display so far here. Tifa moving straight ahead into the packs and the sniper. I feel like she would try to flank around here rather than just dashing right into Umirinbrah's gun line. There you go, fragmentation bomb as well here. Giap is in a really, really uncomfortable position. There you go. Dodges the fragmentation bomb. There we almost fact out the Panther with the T-35, but the machine here prevents the infantry reporting in the tank. And Giap here, I think, makes the right decision to back off. Grab the southern fuel point back here from the Germans, which Umirinbrah successfully sees there. Constantly being bombarded by the Panzerkampfwagen 4 there. And routed. More pioneers here from Umirinbrah. I think it's an excellent decision. I mean, he has a lot of armor there already, so... And there we go, Giap with the supporting company. I would not be surprised at all to look at a pair of field guns here. Maybe a mortar as well, but definitely double field guns to help deal with the German armor, and of course start bombarding stuff. Fresh Pioneer Squad ready here for Umirinbrah and the 7th Panzer Division. Katyusha reloading again. Need to fix up the T-3035 once more. Conscious sniping Suffolk here for Giap. Any field gun there for Giap, very much expected. Grabbing the T-3485, still some repairs here. Con's going for a deep flank northern path there. Grabbing some of the fuel point again, but at this point, Umirinbrah's getting a lot of fuel, and I do believe, yep, he's trying to take advantage of this by going for tier 4. Might be a Tiger, might be heavy Panzer Corps. We'll have to see. Of course, arguably, this gives Giap more time to bring up more armor of his own, or just some field guns here, whereas like Umirinbrah was just like push more medium armor. He could probably like theoretically like just crush Giap. So there's certainly a risk here that Umirinbrah might be committing the Kursk, i.e. trying to wait for the big tanks when you really should just be pushing now with the tanks you got. Maybe some other medium stuff and bring it fast. We'll have to see here. I mean, he does have 2 Panther 4s, and that is still an excellent medium armored force for sure. At least good. T-3035, they're setting up again here for the Red Army. Graham the 3rd point. In the center, we got the M40 push at the conscripts. Sniper scores a kill here and there. Go Katyusha barrage once more. Right on the MG42. Does get the MG42 wiped. Small win there for Giap. But a win nonetheless. That said, it might be limited because, I mean, Giap hasn't destroyed it and Umirinbrah could just recruit it. So while it obviously costs him a bit of manpower, it doesn't ultimately take the machine gun, like, you know, out of commission or remove it from Umirinbrah's grasp. South here, bit of skirmishing here, contrast with the Gundis, light versus heavy cover. Note these are contrasts with the mobilized reserve, so they actually get a bonus in cover as well, because that was really necessary. And there you go, that actually means the Gundis and light cover can actually lose the conscripts and heavy cover quite easily. So there you go, routed. Machine sitting up here in the center. Sniper firing off a flare, thumbs up to that. Panther 4's quick to engage here with their main guns. Quick rallying engineers. T-3035 them 2 for Giap, so clearly not trying to solve an IS-2 at the moment. I think by far the best decision. Of course, similarly for Umirinbrah, it might be a mistake there to try and slot for the big stuff if that's what he's planning for Giap. Similarly, in particular when he's active behind, trying to set up for an IS-2 right now could prove to be a very bad idea. So just bring up more T-3035s, which is just easily probably the most cost-efficient medium tank in the game, alongside the T-34-6. It's like, you know, probably the best idea here for Giap. Closing inventory 2 in the south, we've got the contrast of the machine gun. Apparently here, Umirinbrah not paying attention and rushing it straight into the 7-man conscript squad. Wow, that's a painful mistake there by Umirinbrah. Basically just hands machine to Giap. That is a very painful mistake here to commit. Very painful mistake. Quite the blow there to Umirinbrah. It's going to be even tougher to explain to German High Command. Katyusha here now much more bunched up here as well. It's going to get very painful now for Umirinbrah. It's not indeed just risk losing the MD42 there to Giap, but now may also suffer some lost support weapons to the rocket artillery. There you go. Machine gun down, pack almost down. And I don't think in the south that Giap has realized at all what happened there. I think that adds just insult to injury. Not only did Umirinbrah lose an MD42 in the south, but Giap for like at least a minute didn't realize it. Do you think we could like just sell it before the commanders notice it? Maybe get some vodka for it. Yeah! That'd be great. Yeah, both packs wiped and the machine that left behind as well there. Grabbing the other machine as well. Now this is really bad for Umirinbrah. Not really bad, but quite bad. Like he just lost 2 machine guns to his opponent and his pack got destroyed there. This is a hell of a blow there to Giap. I mean, Umirinbrah, not to Giap. To Giap is a massive blow in favor of him. Because, I mean, the key about losing a machine is not just, you know, the machine is gone from Umirinbrah, it's been added to Giap's arsenal. So it's like, you know, pretty big manpower swing wise there in favor of Giap. Now, plus, of course, Soviet MD42s are 6-man MD42s, and thus are much tougher to, like, clear out. It's one of those advantages. I'm not entirely sure why they really have, but they can, again, just recruit enemy weapons and put them up to 6-man status. Need to fix up the T-35 there. Another pack for Umirin, obviously. But yeah, no heavy panzer corps, so very likely here that Umirin is going to go for the Tiger tank next, and certainly a Tiger tank backed up by 2 Panther forces can do some serious harm there, if employed correctly. But yeah, the 2 MU-42s and servers of Giap now in the Red Army is going to be a hell of a headache here for Umirin to deal with, and would definitely, I think, warrant some mortars to deal with. T-35 establishing repairs. Katyusha there, 6 kills. It did some damage now. Panther force awaiting the repairs. Further up north, the conscripts advancing, digging in. Thumbs up there to Giap. King is sitting up here, and again, that is now a 6-man MD-42 team. Backed up with the sniper. There's the conscript quickly killing several of them out and sending them packing. T-35 to be repaired. Surprised he's not trying to use vehicle crew self-repair, but I'm guessing at this point he might actually be setting up for the R2 Sturmovik attacks here versus Umirin. Who definitely, I think, is going to go for the target tank enlist, like he suddenly builds a heavy pan. So cool. I'd say chances are very, very high he's going to go for the target tank now. Otherwise, very quiet at the moment as Umirin's building up towards the Tiger tank, so he's not really interested in attacking because he wants to preserve the manpower for the Tiger tank. And Giap is just using the time where he's not being attacked ferociously by the German to build up to what he wants as well. Just digging in meanwhile, which is obviously really smart as well. In fact, he could lay down some mines to further make a difficult attack by Umirin very painful and difficult. Another danger again of like trying to stall out there for these things is like it gives your opponent time to dig in hard with mines as well. So there you go, straight into the packs up north there. He thought he'd outmaneuver, instead he got straight into the pack line there. Response from Umirin is fairly limited. So that doesn't try and pursue and finish off the T-35, clearly concerned that it might be mines or something else, or just doesn't care, hard to say. Sniper on the flank, we got 18 kills there, very good tally, and T-35 moving up as the other one, of course, being moved in for repairs. Can go for a 3rd one now, except he's got too many units to do so. North here, conflict attack with the Panther 4, and there you go. Umirin here at the 32-minute mark calls in the Tiger tank to support his Panther force, significantly boosting the overall armored strength of his force. If employed correctly, could definitely deliver some heavy and punishing blows there to Giap. Because that's a lot of firepower in the case of the Tiger tank, also a fair amount of punches it can take. Mostly due to its health turtle and less so because of its armor. Adding the Pinamount machine gun there, getting the conscripts, cover there. Definitely taking a bit of a hit here from the Tiger tank and his 88 with the gun. Cover shat alongside the barbed wire. Panther force running up north, clearly looking to perhaps lining up here. Flank assault here. And he's round about the T-35. Packs moving in here. Might be needed to call in some air recons here from Umirin to like spot out what Giap is up to before charging in about what he's planning to do. Obviously, could be setting up for the fragmentation bomb as well. See, either way, they're lining up tanks in the north here. Panther force also being moved more towards the center. I don't know, I feel like it was a good idea to flank in for healing those Visco mines. Tiger tank moving in, Panther force moving up north here. Gonna need to trouble the T-35 some infantry, but there you go. Pushing up the center sniper there. Getting a few kills on the Pioneers. Machine crew there suffering the wrath of the Panther force. Feeling turning around here. He's just gunning away at that max range. And then disengaging. The field gun obviously committing that to pulling back his Panther force up north here. Meanwhile, Giap continues to slowly extend his influence there against Umirin's northern front line here. T-35 there pushing in for the glory of the Red Army. Crashing tombstones. Flares off here to spot for the field gun. Thumbs up there. Good use of flares here by Giap against Umirin. Good use of flares. Tiger tank bouncing a shot there. One of those rare cases. Oh, double bounce. Lucky. In the actual world of the Cis 3 Division field gun couldn't even penetrate the Tiger's armor at like point blank, well, close ranges. Fun fact there. But anyways, Panther force bombarding here. Betty 2 and 1 of them. Schützen added. Gun is being mauled out in the open here. Down just 1 man. Tiger tank advancing, gating the conscript, shoots, and that's a pretty solid hit there. Kills 2. Leaves the rest close to death. Panther force being engaged with the T-35 to pull them back here for repairs. Might even want to blitz here, pop smoke, but no, decides not to do either of those two in the center. Tiger tank here now taking a lot more damage from Giap's armored forces. And Giap, the way things are going, is probably just going to, like, you know, keep at it and then try and make a big push, probably calling the IS-2 if he suffers enough losses. If not, he probably just wins. Need to fix up both Panther Force here. Schnell, I would recommend this one because it's more veteran already. Also, you know, high health totals. It can mostly be quickly brought into the battle. Instead it goes for the tank, you know, it's also suffered more damage. Tank there, half 8 veterans to 1. Things move top to the center, flares off again. Lots of flares, in fact. Very consistent use of flares. Thumbs up to Giap. Tiger behind the conscripts. Picks up the Panther 4, advancing here for the glory of Deutschland, shooting their way. Good fragment change bomb here on Giap's center, and there you go. Good angling as well here. Wipes and destroys the MD42 team. Excellent. That's definitely going to limit a bit the amount of firepower Giap can bring to bear here versus Umirinbrah. We got 147 to 177. Umirinbrah's also able to bring it in the victory point gap between them pretty close there. Panther 4 is good to go as well. One with the Schutzen. Or armored side skirts. And we're going for the T-3035, backed out of the packs. Second shot misses here. There we go, the T-35 taking more hits now from the Pack 40s and the Panther 4s here. Keeps up the advance here for Deutschland. Engineers suffering a catastrophic hit. This half the unit goes to bits there. Katyusha fire down on the Pack 40s and Syndicate needs to bring up against conscripts, but again, heavy cover. And that cover bonus makes it tough here. Though they are low on health, so much to work it out here. Panther 4's damning to the base here. An audacious maneuver here by Umirinbrah, but I think he decides not to dive too far. And there go T-35 and Filgen opening up the Panther 4's. Whoops, sorry about that. He's moving up the packs as well. They're going to try and destroy the mechanized armor company. That's actually not a bad idea at all. That's also pretty rare, though. And also means that if Giap does intend to go for the IS-2, he actually has to rebuild it, which would definitely delay his IS-2. That's pretty rare. So that's actually like, you know, something like that get destroyed inside the opponent's base. So thumbs up to Umirinbrah on that one. Pack's been good with the conscripts. Disengaging though. Second Panther 4 also very close to 82. Pioneers rushing in swiftly. Tiger tangling up here for Deutschland. Advancing steadily. Shoots not quite the greatest hit. That's going to be grabbed. We got the Grenadiers going for the car point. But there you go. The T-3035 quickly dissuades the Grenadiers from advancing any further. Back here, reinforcement healing. Similar back in the story in Giap's base. More engineers on the way. Will he build the mechanized armor company again? Or what will Giap do under these circumstances? Is the big question. Panther 4 there. Vetchi 2 being fixed up. No, the later models of Panther 4s, the Bollier specifically, they would start replacing the hull there on the side skirts, the main side hull, with more wire mesh side skirts, as the weight less and required less material, but still overall had the desired effect against, you know, enemy anti-tank weapons like bazookas and whatnot. Fun fact there, by the way. The search bar would replicate those on their tanks by 1945 as well there, and add similar armoured side skirts to the T-3035s. Fun fact. There's the comes from the south here. And there we go. Another MG42 map for Umirinbrah, though I would still recommend some mortars here, honestly. Like some artillery support to deploy smoke, but also just hammer some of the Giap support ones would be really good here. Giap, meanwhile, just has a massive resource overload here. He just can't spend it, though. At least probably not something he really wants, which would be more tanks here versus Umirinbrah. There we go, second Panther 4 there with armoured side skirts. Schutzen, good to go. Targeting there, close veterans 1. Pack shoots, misses. T-3045 moving about there. Troops reinforcing healing. Very quiet here again. Giap obviously has no intention of just charging into the packs, or for that matter, the multiple Panther 4s and Tiger tank without a really good plan. So he's probably at this point just hoping that, like, you know, Umirinbrah gets restless and charges in, at which point he's probably hoping to, like, you know, punish him hard somehow. Now with the 30 kills, close to 83. Coh2 unleashing another barrel sheet against Umirinbrah. The machine crew, they're definitely some of the brunt of it there. Really hasn't done a lot of killing though with that one. It's still at 6 kills here after a while. There you go, machine crew, that takes some hits. 8 kills finally here. 9 kills, veterans on achieved well. The Panther 4 takes some hits, has smoke deployed and quickly disengaged again. In the south, with the T-Fed flank catching the Grenadiers here, and there you go. 85 million hit, they're blasting through the Grenadiers, forcing both squads to retreat there or suffer annihilation. Very sort of slow-paced match now. Tiger tank, they're gaining veterans 1 contra, they're taking some rather nasty hits. T-35s, they might try and flank up here behind. Oh, instead of flanking, he goes straight ahead. I really think if he'd flanked up, he could actually cast the Pack 40s from an angle where they aren't ready, actually do some fair amount of damage, so that he's just attacking head on onto the Packs, the Tiger, and there you go, 1 T-35 down there. No mechanized armor coming, so we do get some air support here against Umirinbrah, but that was quite a painful blow there to Giap with not really much to show for it. Continuing keeping the attack, he's actually lost multiple conscripts as well here. Casualties are really skyrocketing now for Giap. Of course, he does have the resources to replace them, but the question is really, this is the way he's meant to replace them in. Probably not. Grab Northern Vector Point. He's going to need that mechanized armor coming to bring out some more armor, unless he's intending to go for H6. He's almost got the Tiger tank here. That would be quite good here for Giap if he could go at the Tiger, but no, decides not to push any further, allowing Umirinbrah to pull back the Tiger tank. Feels like a bit of an oversight here. Sniper wiped by the Panther 4. Well, that was not a great call there by Giap. Mechanized armor company number 2 going up, and you might notice this time it's further inside of the base. He's not willing to, like, let Umirinbrah to wreck that one as well. Usually barrels off here on the center. Almost got the Packs there actually. And the Grenadiers. Did wipe one of the Pack crews. Small one there for Giap. Mechanized armor company done, and I definitely expect him to press the IS-2 button as soon as that thing is done. And there you go. Mechanized armor company done. He can press the IS-2 button now, bring in more field guns. They're turning around to deal with the Panther 4. Shoots and whiffs. No IS-2. That's actually surprising. Oh, wait, never mind. He did call it in. It's just, for some reason, appeared a bit slow. So there you go. IS-2 heavy tank out there. Of course, at the pin amount of dish cut. And Tiger tank, Panther 4 trying in the center here. Straight the field gun. Tiger tank suffering a fair amount of damage here. Close to 82, though. We got 81, or 79 versus 155. Giap still maintaining good victory point. And there you go. We got the IS-2 rolling out here. For the glory of Comrade Stalin. Tiger tank blasting away, the Panther 4 supporting. Both sort of moving towards their 3, I think, at a steady pace. Tiger tank down to 1/3 total health total here. Panther 4 right into the IS-2 here. And it's 122mm gun. Great shot there. Panther 4 down to half health here. In the center, on the south, Tiger and Panther 4's flanking in here. Kind of risky, they continue to have damage there, honestly, here by Umirinbrah. Up north, the Panther 4's almost knocked out by Giap's IS-2. Continues up the Panther 4 and the Tiger tank. Conscript could be wiped out here with no gets away. Tiger tank reaching Veteran 2. Panther 4 taking hits from the field guns and the IS-2 possibly as well. And narrowly escapes with the Panther. No, doesn't get away with the Panther 4. Great kill here for Giap, and the Tiger tank needs to be pulled back for repairs alongside the other Panther 4 here. Which does mean the IS-2 is a bit more free reign. Of course, the Pack 40s will be a thorn in its side. Coh2 bears the chance to the Packs. Almost got it. The T-Fed found this ultra to join the fight here. Pack crew wiped out. Very close to Veggie 2 now. The Coh2 really starting to pick up on things there. Tiger tank, Panther 4 there, back for repairs. Pioneers, though, in desperate need of reinforcements in extra repaired and efficient speed here. And a Stug here for Umirinbrah. No, Ostwind. Ostwind. Ha. I'm guessing he's concerned about enemy air support or the infantry. Both possibly even. Still at this point, Ostwind feels a bit odd. Northern pumping cease for the conscripts. Steady mountain center here by Giap's forces around to the infantry too. We got 62 plus armor 48 here, and there we go, double packs, slamming armor piercing shells into front line of the T-35. Almost got it there. Up north here we got the German panzers on the point. IS-2, they're being repaired. Almost good to go here for Giap once more. We can actually call in another T-35. In theory, had enough, you know, population, but he actually doesn't. Meanwhile, your man briefly, he's actually going for a third pack 40, which if he keeps bunching them up, is just actually going to be a bigger liability. It just makes the Katyusha barrage even more effective as your Umirin. So, unless he actually gets better at splitting up his packs, though, this could actually prove to be a bit of a mistake there. 49 points left for Umirin. We got the Titanium fixed up in the south here. We got the Conf being hit there as well. Got the center there being grabbed. There's been dealing with engineers there. IS-2 setting out. Katyusha firing off on the center, I imagine. Maybe not. And there you go. Pack's been caught with the IS-2. Katyusha narrowly missing it all. Close call there for Umirin. IS-2 landing good here in the Tiger tank. Punches through this frontal armor. Field is there holding back. Going to secure the center and the north now. Pack still being cleared out here by Giap's forces. They cannot destroy them. And Umirin rapidly cruising on the Pioneers, knowing that he, you know, loses these packs more on a permanent basis. He could be in some really deep sour crap. Titan retreat for the IS-2, both getting and penetrating hit, but the Tiger tank is already significantly more damaged than the IS-2 is, so the IS-2 does hold the upper hand. And there go the field catching alongside the T-35. Could lose the Tiger tank here, which would be a huge blow to Umirin and the German army. A humongous blow, but no, looks like Umirin is able to get the Tiger tank out of the danger zone. But there you go, triple packs, and he's really begging for a Katyusha barrage with this one. I feel like this is just, yeah, like the only thing that's sort of saving me right now is the Katyusha barrage is still on cooldown. Like if it wasn't, pop, and he'd be in some really bad terrain. Got Basil there wanting some attention food, most likely. Still recording an episode, Basil, but there you go. Sturmwix charging down there from above, hitting the pack cruisers retreat and the Grenadiers, ripping through them with their cannons. Yes, Basil. You should have gone for Panzer Grenadiers and Stoogs. T-35 in the center straight again, the for too quickly getting killed here up north, pumping seas there. Fielders on the move. Close to Vector 2 here, machine almost wiped out. Packs on getting the T-35, but also taking away the position. And then go Katyusha barrage off on it. No, he's firing into the base here, and, well, inadvertently, I suppose, also killed something pretty important. He actually murdered most of Umirin's Pioneers, except for, like, one guy. Not too shabby either, but he loses the T-35 to the packs. Got 43 versus 122 there. More strafing rounds here from the Sturms before they leave the battlefield. Umirin's Tiger tank advance here for the glory of Deutschland with its 88mm gun there, ripping through the frontline forces, but field guns on the job alongside the IS-2 here. Forcing back Umirin's Tiger tank here. Grenadiers taking a hell of a hit here from the IS-2. Got 38 versus 122 here. Maybe sort of hit another issue with the packs. They're not really a replacement for infantry. Like, they can hold back the IS-2, but they can't really just move ahead to grab points from all the conscripts and whatnot. So, there's also, I'll say, another flaw here in going for total packs here for Umirin, besides just, you know, waste position that just really screams like that for a Katyusha barrage. Tiger tank and dashing, we can see that again. There's a bit of terrain for Umirin, and that just means the Tiger tank's now stuck with a damaged engine in front of, like, multiple field guns. Pops smoke, but it's not going to be difficult for, like, you know, Umirin's Giap to just figure out where the Tiger is and blast from there. Go, now we got the packs versus the IS-2. Further problematic situation of Umirin. His losses are piling up and increasingly catastrophic pace here. And there you go, the field is not talking about countering the pack 40s by bombarding them. Got the Panther 4 charging in, the IS-2 now going for the flank here. Panther 4's reached their chief fleet, which is good, but yeah, I mean, Umirin's toast here. Yes, absolutely toast. With that, GG, game over. A loss here for the Germans, a victory for the army, a fierce back and forth contest of wills and wits, but in the end, Giap stood more successfully. Umirinbrah, I think, made a few unfortunate tactical calls here and there, but Giap, of course, also made some really good calls himself, so there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Team. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Isn't that right, Basil? Yeah.